has gotten traded from the Utah Jazz for Malik Beasley, Walker Kersley, Jared Vanderbilt, Patrick Beverly, Leandro Balmero, and 4 first-round picks. So let's get into it. For the Utah Jazz, they had to trade Rudy Gobert because Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell were just not working out on the same court. They couldn't win an NBA championship or even come close to it. They didn't have a single Western Conference Finals appearance, and they just needed to change it up. So they decided to trade Rudy Gobert, which was a great move for the Utah Jazz. They got 4 first round picks, which they can use in another package for an all-star type player to help them win again and try to go out and fight for the NBA championship. They got good players like Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverly to make up for the defense, and Jared Vanderbilt to make up for their defense from Rudy Gobert. And they have 4 picks to trade for another star. Hint, hint, Kevin Durant. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, but they can aim for that to happen. So we can see that happening after this trade. Just to see Donovan Mitchell being paired with the player that he wants. Kevin Durant would put the Utah Jazz to another level. So I think the Utah Jazz won this trade. And so did the Minnesota Timberwolves. Sure, it was a steep price to get Rudy Gobert, giving up so many great players and 4 picks. But at the end of the day, they're trying to fight for the NBA championship. Sure, they could have tried to trade for Kevin Durant. But when they did try to trade for Kevin Durant, reports say that the Nets wanted Karl Anthony Towns. The Minnesota Timberwolves can't do that. That would just be stupid for them to do so. So they tried to look for the next best player, and the next best player was Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert definitely benefits this team. Cat is not a good defender for the Minnesota Timberwolves. And Rudy Gobert is definitely a good defender for the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Minnesota Timberwolves can become a top 5 defense, just like the Utah Jazz became with Rudy Gobert. Many people overreact to Rudy Gobert in the postseason because his perimeter defense, but I think he will be good for the Utah Jazz in the postseason because in the postseason for the Utah Jazz, there was no way they were going to even win one playoff series. He puts their defense over the top. And now for the Minnesota Timberwolves, he's also going to put the defense over the top. He's going to be a very, very valuable player. And there's a reason why he has won 3 Defensive Player of the Year. Because he's a great defender. Sure, you can say that he didn't deserve all of them, but he got those Defensive Player of the Years, and that proves that Rudy Gobert is a great defender that can cover for Cat's inability on the defensive side of the ball. And sure, Rudy Gobert isn't the greatest offensive player, but Karl Anthony Towns is a great offensive player that makes up for Rudy Gobert's bad 3-point shooting. So overall, I think this is a great fit for the Minnesota Timberwolves and helps them fight for the NBA championship. Especially if they have a guy like Anthony Edwards who can become an NBA All-Star next year, they can form an amazing big 3 around Rudy Gobert. Now the next player I want to talk about is Malcom Brogdon. Malcom Brogdon has gotten traded to the Boston Celtics, which is a great move for the Celtics. The Celtics traded Daniel Theis, Aaron Nesmith, and a couple of picks. For the Indiana Pacers, they want to rebuild. So they'll be absolutely terrible next year and will try to get the first pick in the NBA draft, just like the San Antonio Spurs. I explained it for the San Antonio Spurs in my DeJounte Murray trade video. So the Indiana Pacers are doing the same thing and are trying to form a young core in Indiana, which could be absolutely deadly. For the Boston Celtics, they get a point guard who can facilitate the ball at a high rate and is a good shooter and ball handler. So Marcus Smart and Malcolm Brogdon could be a good duo next to each other. Malcolm Brogdon also fits the Celtics defense as he is also a good defender and has good size at 6'5" for the Boston Celtics. So I think this is a good trade for both sides, San Antonio and the Boston Celtics. Anyways, that's the end of the video. Please like and subscribe and peace.